Today I'm going to show you how to make pigs in blanket sausage rolls. You will need about 500 grams of pre-made puff pastry, about 6 sausages, 4 rashers of bacon, some plain flour. You don't need a lot, it's just for sprinkling to make sure that your pastry doesn't stick, 1 egg. Firstly, flour your surface with your plain flour. Then, making sure your puff pastry is at room temperature, roll it out. It's better to have the puff pastry at room temperature because it's much easier to roll. If it's still slightly too cold, it won't really roll very well and it'll also start cracking. So it is better to make sure that it is at room temperature. I roll my pastry out so then it's long and thin, and then I cut it in the middle to make 2 long, thin rectangles of puff pastry. Then cut your bacon into small strips and place on the puff pastry. Then take the skin off of the sausages. You can use sausage meat, but I've found in the UK it is cheaper to buy sausages than to buy a pack of sausage meat. And also it's the same shape that you want, you just need to stretch it out a bit because you don't want it quite as thick as a sausage. So as long as you take the skin off first, you can roll it out a bit more to make it longer and thinner. And then if you put that on your bacon, then where each piece of your bacon meets, make a cut in your pastry. This is so then it's much easier to cut your sausage rolls up later, because otherwise you're trying to cut through bacon and it doesn't quite work, whereas if you cut where the bacon meets, it's much easier. Then, having already pre-beaten your egg, lightly brush on one side of the pastry where you're going to fold the pastry over. Then fold the pastry over and press down along the side, and then using a fork push down where the pastry meets, which will not only give you a nice pattern but also make sure that it fully meets so then it doesn't open up while it's cooking. Then, using a knife, just cut your sausage rolls into portions where you've already pre-marked it. Arrange it on a baking tray. Then, using the pre-beaten egg, lightly brush over the top and give it a nice egg wash. Then place in a preheated oven at gas mark 6, 200 degrees centigrade, or fan assisted at 170 for about 35 minutes. And there you have it. That is pigs in blanket sausage rolls.